Hello everybody. Thank you for joining in today. Thank you for watching this, whether you're watching live or whether you're going to get the recording. I send you so much blessings. Thank you for your support and thank you for coming and showing up for yourself and for awakening the divine feminine within us. In our lives today, especially where we are in the world right now, where there's so many killings of women, so many women being put down, women being abused, and all these things are coming up now. And it's a sign for us to heal and a sign for us to get up, stand up, and claim our power back as women. We've got a lot of things that happen in everyday life that make us lose our power. We give our power away sometimes to people who don't deserve it. People never deserve to take our power away. So it is time for us to reclaim our power as women in this world and just step into the sacred feminine, step into the divine feminine aspect of ourselves, be here and be true to yourself in all aspects of your life. So that's what the sacred feminine work is about. It's being true to yourself, understanding that you are wise beyond what you can even understand. You are strong, you are a creator and a creative force of energy. And understanding that and looking at yourself from that aspect already gives you so much power. It gives you so much confidence and it gives you so much grace and inner peace in life. So, what the divine feminine work is about womb healing as well. So, healing your womb, healing your sacred feminine, aligning with the energy of the earth, aligning with divinity. So, the sacred feminine is really expanding, it's an expansive energy. And to be honest with you, since I have personally worked with the divine feminine, I have changed in terms of myself, my being, the way I look at myself, my self love practices. And it's little things that we never think about. We grow up in a world of masculine, in a world where everybody is go go go, do. You feel at times that you have to fit a certain criteria, you have to fit in a certain block, in a certain way that people want you to be, in a way that people want to see you. And in reality, we are not that. We as women, we are vulnerable. We cry, we laugh, we cultivate silence. Being a woman is knowing when to be silent. When do we need to be silent and listen, really connecting with the divine, connecting with our true selves. When we have to speak, we need to own our speech, we need to own our voices. What has happened in many years coming was that people used to not use their voice. Women used to be submissive, women used to not be able to speak up and speak their truth. And if we all look in our lives, I think that most of us realize that we don't always speak our truth. And the big question is, do we even know what our truth is? Because I know for myself, before doing the work on myself, before going deep within my being, I didn't really know what my truth was. So it really took me deep into looking at who am I, understanding where you are in life, what my purpose is, what is it that I'm meant to do, what is it that I've come to fulfill, where am I in my relationships with people, what role am I playing in my relationships with people. So it's so important to realize who we are as women. We are not men. We are not men. So we don't need to be like men. We need to be like women. We need to cultivate that woman essence inside of us. We are feminine, we are dancers, we laugh, we cry. There's so much power and strength that women have. It's unbelievable until you actually realize it, until you actually step into that power. And also knowing that you are the creator. So every woman in your home, you are the creator of that home. You are the source, you are the stability, you are the sustainer. In everyday life, people make us believe that the men hold the household. The men are supporting, the men are providing. But as women, we are coming up as the support. We are the household, you know, because where a woman is strong in herself, where a woman is confident, where a woman is speaking her truth and living from her highest self, that household will have abundance. It will have an abundance of money, irrespective of where it comes from. It takes the woman. The woman is the one who holds the vitality, who holds the home, who safeguards the home. And on this journey, within all of these circles that we'll be doing on a weekly basis, you will learn a lot of things that you can do to cultivate your power in your household. When a woman prays, it's so, so powerful. You can pray, you speak words into existence. So when you pray and you ask and you truly connect with divinity, you're truly asking and you are receiving as a woman. Just realizing that your voice is your creation is something that will do you well throughout your life or for the rest of your life. I know there's some people here that, I've worked with as well, others who are interested in working with me. And it's interesting that it's people from all ages, so you get people who are early 20s and then people who are already like 50 or 60. It's never too late. It's never too late to step up and own your power as a woman. We are only as good as how conscious we are at that point in the game. So, right now, if you haven't heard this before, irrespective of whether you're 20 or 30 or 40, like it's never too late. It's never too late to learn and to grow, to rejuvenate yourself into knowing greater things, into your wisdom, into your power with divinity and connecting with divinity. It's never, never too late to do that. You also learn, you learn so much. You learn to own your wisdom. You learn to just have that inner knowing and trusting yourself, that intuition. How often do we get a thought in our mind, or do we just feel like when we're stepping into a space and you just feel like, oh my word, like this is a lot for me? That is your intuition, that's your wisdom, that's your gift. So learning to cultivate these gifts and to open them up and to expand yourselves, expand your gifts, to know, to listen to that intuitive knowledge, that's a power all of us have, not only certain people. I think people also sometimes see healers and coaches in a sense that they are different from ordinary people. And we are not different at all. We are the same. I started my healing journey exactly the same. I wasn't whole within myself. I wasn't confident. I didn't know where I was in this game, this game of life. I didn't know what I wanted to do, what my purpose was. I was aimlessly doing things that never made me happy. So when you are in a position where you're in a career, you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, there's a certain relationship with an individual, whether it be a partnership in terms of a business, whether it be a relationship in terms of a boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it be a relationship with your sister or with your mother. you can transmute that relationship. There are certain relationships that take your vitality, they take your energy, they drain you. But as long as you are always energetically connected to that relationship, even if you don't see the person, even if you completely cut ties with that person, you are still energetically connected to them. So working on yourself and working from the inside out changes things in your reality. So you might come to a session to do menstrual work. And what comes from that session is not only that you learn about your cycles and your cycling charts and all of that, but you then go into a wound that really needs to heal, that really wants to come out. And it will surprise you because you'll think, but I came here for this and now I'm getting this, you know? So some people find it mind boggling, but only when you go with an open heart, when you go with an open mind to say to yourself that I'm going here to heal, whatever is meant to come up to heal will come up. So, what else did I want to discuss? Womb energy. So, working with our womb is the source of all creation. So, you come from a womb, you give birth through a womb. So, basically, your womb is what creates, it's your divine creation. It's always there. Even in ladies that have gone for hysterectomies and that, energetically you still have a womb. Men have a hara line, which is the same as a womb. So not exactly in terms of what they're creating, but everybody has a feminine and a masculine side. So even men have the feminine and they have a hara line. So when we do meditations and there are men in the space, we let them connect to their hara line. So the power of creation, we don't have any men here, so we're just going to talk about the womb today. Let's forget about them. So your womb has energy, your womb carries energy. So throughout the month, if you are still on your cycle, you collect energy. Your womb feels, your womb is, you can almost see it as a person, you know. So it will come up if you do a womb meditation, it comes up like a color, or you can actually go into a meditation and you visualize how your womb looks. So she'll come out as a person, as an old lady, as a young lady, as a child. It will come up and you learn to work with your cycle. So you'll notice if you work with your cycle and you do menstrual charting, there's certain times in your cycle where you feel differently, where you react to things differently, where you emotionally different. So in new moon, you would feel a certain energy. Your womb would give off a certain energy. In full moon, you would give off a certain energy. In your waxing and your waning moon, you'll also have a different energy. So what we do is we chart our cycle by journaling. So where you are in your cycle, you chart day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, just how you're feeling, you know, what emotions are coming up for you, because we can only heal something if we consciously know it. So if I don't know how to heal something, I need to go into the space to see what it is that I need to heal. So maybe in 1 month you experience a lot of pressure, you experience a lot of arguments with people, you experience, your womb is taking in all of that. And sometimes you'll find that when you are experiencing a lot of trauma, a lot of arguments, a lot of you know, that that kind of energies, you will sometimes feel like your periods are more painful. You know, you have more painful periods, you have more things that, and that's just things you need to heal, you know, things that are deep rooted inside of you. So if you look at anything energetically, it only comes up for you to heal. So whatever it is that needs to come up, it will come up if you consciously sit. So journaling for me is the one of the basis of the tools I use. And I only teach you guys what I embody. And journaling is one of the tools that I've used as a spiritual tool for a very long time now to get things out of my head. I used to live in a space where I was in my head all the time, just thinking, what can go wrong? You know, just thinking, oh, I'm going here, but you know, what do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do today? And the thing is, it messes with your peace. If you're always wondering what's going to come next, if you're always going to worry about what has happened before, it deeply messes with your peace. You always need to try and quiet your mind and work from a space of complete peace. It's not always possible to completely silence your mind, but through constant meditation, you know, learning to even meditate, start with 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day. Know that you are consciously teaching your mind to just calm down, just be here, because here is all you actually really have. You've got this present moment. So when we chart, when we journal, we sit in the now. Even though we journal or we chart about something that's coming up for us, so whether that be an old relationship or whether that be um, your day, you know, what's happened in your day, you need to sit in the present moment, because that's the only way that you will receive guidance from the divine. As women, we are so connected to divinity that we can receive guidance. You know, we can receive guidance, we can get messages, we can, you know, and it's not all woo things, you know, that people, like, we're not witches or you know, um we're not witches or um aliens or some weird thing that people want us to be. We are just connected to the divine. You know, you can receive whatever it is that you need in that moment, but it's very important to stay present, to be there. And then when you're journaling, try and let it out from a point of no judgment. We so often judge ourselves much harsher than other people will actually judge us. How many times has any of you wondered, what are they thinking of me? You know, what's this person thinking? So when you walk in a shopping mall and you just walk and someone looks at you, how often do you wonder, I wonder what they think of me, you know? Or if someone says something about you, you know, you go like, I wonder what were they thinking when they said that. We judge ourselves so much harsher than what other people judge us. Sometimes people are actually not even judging you. Sometimes people are actually looking through you because they're so involved in their own being, they're so involved in their own life that they're looking at you, but they're actually looking through you. So we need to learn to work from a space of non-judgment. So whatever you write, you write. Whatever you hear, you hear. Whatever you see, you see. Just let it be, you know, let it flow through you, let it come, you know, and don't be afraid to go there. I think that's the other thing that women do and that women feel vulnerable about, is going into a situation. So one of the other things that the divine feminine is about is healing our lineage. So healing our relationship with our mothers, grannies, everyone that came before you. And that really is a constant cycle of healing, because your lineage goes on and on and on and on. And what happens is when you are born with the lineage of your mothers, the lineage of your fathers. It's encoded in your DNA. So as you do healing, and as we will continue learning through these weekly sessions, is you will learn to heal your lineage. You will learn to heal circumstances, mannerisms, and things that come from your lineage. Sometimes you think you are not this person. Why am I doing this? Why am I feeling like this? Why is this coming up for me? It may actually be something that's not yours. It may actually be something that's from your lineage, from something that happened when you were a child, that you are now remembering, and you still have that limiting belief, that limiting pattern within yourself. So that's another aspect of the divine feminine, is going into your story, going into where are you, what are you doing, why are you doing that? Is it maybe a role that I'm playing? Is it something that's not mine? Am I carrying baggage from other people? And you don't need that baggage. We heal it, we move forward, and we go. We create our lives. We don't stay stuck in the past. So this session is basically an introduction to everything that is out there to learn. This journey is not just something that you do today and tomorrow you healed and you go and you tra-la-la on. It's a journey whereby you will heal every day. Doing the practices every day, learning every day to take it one step at a time. You can't heal yourself in one day. You can't heal yourself in 1 hour. So our session is not going to heal you. You have to do the work. Sometimes the work is painful. Sometimes the work gives a lot of discomfort in your being, because we suppress a lot. We suppress feelings, we suppress situations, and what happens is anything that you suppress will want to come up. And this energy of womb healing and the divine feminine is such a powerful energy that once you start, a lot of my clients will tell you, once you start, like you go in and you are like, oh my word, like this is deep shit. It's sometimes very heavy, but what I can tell you is on the other side of your discomfort is your joy, your true joy, your truth, your wisdom, your compassion, learning how to completely love yourself is so important. I can't stress self-love more. Is you can only give from the overflow. You can only give from what you have in access from. So if you think about it as a cup of tea that spills over into the saucer. You can give everyone from the saucer, you can give from the saucer anytime you want, but you can't give from the cup. You cannot give from an empty cup. Whether that be in terms of your happiness, in terms of compromise, in terms of you need to have all of those things first before you can give it to someone else. Love, you need to have a cup overflowing of love before you can give it to someone else. Irrespective of whether you're a mother, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself for that one day when you just actually want to say to yourself, you know what, like today I can just love me. I love you. I love everybody unconditionally. I love my kids unconditionally, but it's okay. It's okay one day to just say, you know what, today I kind of just have to leave my baby with the nanny, and I need to go and have a day whereby I honor myself, where I love myself, where I give myself that overflow so I can come back home and give it to my children. This is the reason why a lot of moms experience depression, because they're giving from an empty cup. They in relationships, people give from empty cups. People keep giving, giving, giving. You can't give so much. You can only give from your saucer. But if your saucer is not overflowing, you can't give. And it's another place where judgment comes in. Is Judgment comes in when you are not able to give because your cup is not overflowing. So because it's not overflowing, you say to yourself, I'm a bad mother because I can't give this love now. I can't give this attention now. I'm a bad daughter because I can't go and help my mother do something now because I actually have no capacity to do so. Or I'm a bad sister because I've made a decision that my sister doesn't like. I'm a bad friend because I didn't agree to go for coffee when I actually just wanted to be by myself, or I actually just wanted to spend time with my family. So we beat ourselves up and we again bring up judgment, and judgment seems to be a theme for the session. So it's there for a reason, I guess. So when you judge yourself so harshly because you cannot give, you cannot be, you cannot pretend anymore, it's okay. It's okay not to give. It's okay not to be this full of energy, vitality person every single day. Like we're different every single day. There might be days when you want to just stay in bed and just watch movies, and that's okay. um, we need to be okay with ourselves, and that comes from a point of self-love, where we see ourselves through the eyes of God. God sees us as perfect. We are all perfect, irrespective of the mistakes that we make, irrespective of what people might think of us, irrespective of the perception that even we pose on ourselves. We are perfect. You are perfect just as you are. And constantly striving and putting this identity on yourself that I always need to be perfect at something. It's a lot. It's a lot for your soul. It's a lot for your body. It's a lot for your mind to comprehend. It's a lot for you to have to digest every day, feeling like you have to put on this show, to impress people, to be something that you might not be at that day. And all I want to say to you today is that it's okay. Just be whoever it is that you need to be in that day, and journal about it. Write it down. If there's ever a gift that you buy yourself like nice big books. Like, I'm absolutely in love with books. I buy them everywhere all the time. Probably have way too much than I need, but um, that's the best gift that you can buy yourself. Buy yourself a book and buy yourself a pen and just write, it's amazing how your life just shifts when you start being conscious and aware and go back. You know, if you want on one day, just turn the book. I use books, even my journals, as an oracle. So when you want to read something, just open it on any page and just read, and that's your message for the day, or it's meant for you to reflect on for that day. So, for example, if you turn back into your journal and you find a day that you were completely grateful for the little things in life, it could mean that you need to revisit that gratitude. It means that you need to revisit that space that you felt on that day. If you go back and it's something that you were working on, it's for you to see your progress, to see, oh my word, like this day I was really down, I really made a bad decision, or a decision that didn't serve me, but I've learned better, I've grown, I've expanded, I've evolved, and now I'm this new person, that can make a better decision. I'm this person that can wake up to a new day, be a new person, be something that I wasn't yesterday. And don't let anybody ever make you feel bad about who you were yesterday. You did that yesterday, that was yesterday. Today is today. We don't focus on what we were. We move forward and we grow, we evolve, we rejuvenate ourselves every morning. And we're thankful, leading us to our next topic of, sorry guys, if you have questions, if I'm going too fast, please um, raise your hand or something. I see you can raise your hand on Zoom. So please raise your hand or type a question in the comments if you have anything. So yeah, if I am going too fast, just say, please go slower. And yeah, so bringing us back to gratitude. Gratitude is another spiritual practice that can really change your perception of where you are in life. So you might be having the worst day, you might be going through a lot of things that are difficult, you are in your discomfort so deep that you just don't know how to get out. These people that I know, that I work with, that get so depressed. They get depressed, they get in a state where they just cannot think of anything that is good in their lives. And the practice that I recommend when you're feeling that way is gratitude. In each and every moment of your day, there's something to be grateful for. So if you have a journal and the day where you're just feeling like the discomfort is overtaking you, you turn to gratitude. You don't need to be grateful for miraculous, amazing, wonderful things, but be grateful for the fact that you can breathe, be grateful for a glass of water, be grateful for your journaling book. There's so many things that you can be grateful for. And I think teaching gratitude to our children from a very young age will always show them that there's so much to be grateful for. Yesterday, I had an experience with my son where he was at a thing with his cousin, and then he came back and he was so excited, and he was like, oh my word, like, look, she gave me a sticker, and she gave me chips, and she gave me this, and it was so nice, and it was nice to see her, and it was nice to be out, and it was nice to, and I said to him, oh my word, like, you have so much to be grateful for. Hey, you must remember it when you say thank you to God in the evening. And he says, yes, there's so much. God won't even understand what I'm saying. And it was so eye-opening for me that because he had a practice of every night before he goes to bed, I say to him that he should say, thank you, God, for an amazing day, or, thank you, God, for whatever it is. And he'll bring up all things. He'll bring up holidays. He'll bring up an airplane ride, which obviously we haven't been on for the past 6 months. But, just to see the knowledge of a child, seeing the innocence of a child and how they see life. That's why I love working with kids as well, because they are so wise, for their age. They bring out so much. And I think us as adults, we need to go back to that childlike joy, the childlike feeling of just being grateful for a sticker, being grateful for the little things. There's so much. There's literally so much. And if you really just sit and you just journal on gratitude, the way it will raise your vibration, it will raise your happiness. You'll just feel like, oh my word, like I actually have so much. um and then the other thing, when you're feeling like you're completely desperate, or you're completely despondent about your life at that point, and nothing is going right in your life, one of the practices is also just to have your community of people who you can talk to, who you can ask for a prayer, who you can ask for guidance, um, who you can ask to just hold you in that space. There's teachings and people who would tell you, and I've also heard it before, when I felt down and out, people would say to me, you have to do this, you have to write and say thank you for what you don't have, because it will come into your reality if you do that. And at one point I felt, and I said to myself, but I'm doing this, but I don't believe it. you know if you are stuck and you're feeling completely sad and just out of it, for someone to say to you, just go and say, um, thank you, God, for making me happy. You'll say it, but you'll never believe it. So it will never bring itself into your reality, because your reality is based on a vibration. So it's the vibration that you emit. So if you emit happiness, that's what you'll get. But if you emit sadness and you try to mimic being happy, you're never going to believe it. You're never going to get to a point where you actually feel like, okay, I'm happy. But that's why I believe in your group, your soul group of people. And whether that be in circles like this, whether that be a group of women that just support you, whether that be a person, or your coach or your healer, or just someone who you can go to say to them, you know what, today is just one of those days. Can you please just do a prayer for me? Can you, can you help me? Can you just listen to me? Let them just be there. Sometimes I sit and I'll just listen to a client. They'll they'll just talk. They'll tell me their story from start to end, from 10 years ago up until now. And we'll sit maybe for 40 minutes. They will sit and they will just tell me the story. But the difference in speaking to a coach or speaking to someone who's holding you and holding space for you is the fact that they're actually listening to you. How many times do we speak to people who so badly just want to give us advice? You know, we listen to people who just wants to say, you know what, like, do this or don't do this, don't feel sad, don't, you know, sometimes you just need to speak and be seen and be heard. And that's what these women's circles are as well, what they're about. And in other circles, we will do circles where it's not a webinar like this, but it's a circle whereby everyone can speak, so everyone has a chance to speak and to just say where they're at in the day or in their life at this moment. Where are they? What are you experiencing? What emotions are you going through? And believe me, you feel a sense of relief when there is just someone that is seeing you and that is hearing you and holding that space for you. You know that you are in a safe space. You can say what you want. Whatever happens in the circle stays in the circle. Nobody goes and discusses it with anybody else, and nobody goes and shares, oh my word, did you hear what she just said? Because we all are in a space of divinity. We're in a space of sharing. We are safe. We each have a story that can serve someone else. And in circles like that, which we will have maybe once a month, is the beauty of having support and knowing that your story is maybe something for someone else's life that just shows up and be like, that is what I was looking for. Sometimes your strength or your experience is something that's empowering for someone else. It will make someone realize something about themselves that they've always held back. We often have wounds in terms of sister wounds, which means that you are not in a space where you feel comfortable to share things with women because, say, a woman betrayed you. You told a woman a secret. You maybe don't have a good relationship with your sister, and you feel that whatever information she gets from you, she shares it with the world and sends it to the wrong people, and just, like toxic relationships. And you'll see that transmutes itself into you not being able to trust a fellow woman. You're not being able to share in a space where there's other women. And people who's had experiences with things like that will think, yes, it's me, I understand that wound. But so many of us have a deep-seated sisterhood where something happened eons ago, and someone said something, like one woman, maybe in high school or in primary school, even a little girl, um, shared your secret with somebody, or they tattletaled on you, or they were nasty and vindictive to you. That actually sits in your subconscious mind, and it creates that sisterhood where you think, now I can't trust women. um, I know a lot of my clients say, I only have male friends, so I don't have lady friends because ladies are horrible. And I sometimes think back and I think, oh my word, I see that I've said that before. I can just imagine myself and thought, you know what, I'm just going to be friends with guys because guys are better to be friends with. And that's where we also get that masculine. We live in our masculine more than what we live in our feminine. And because we have a wound, we have a wound towards women, fellow women. And that's also another another healing part of the womb healing and feminine healing journey is to heal the wounds, the sister wound, to heal the mother wound, to heal the father wound. So yeah, it's you never stop learning, ladies. You really, really never stop learning. You never stop growing and evolving. And you might see it as, gosh, am I just going to be stuck in a rut all the time? But you're going to heal something and you're going to evolve. So as you heal, you evolve, you learn, you evolve, you learn, you evolve. And you actually just wake up one morning and you think to yourself, like, how did I get here? How did I become this person? For me personally, I love sharing my story to inspire my clients to know that I wasn't always together. um, I wasn't always the same person, and knowing that you are learning from someone who you can relate with, I think is very important. And I've always had teachers like that. All my teachers who I've had has always had a story which they could share and use to inspire. So that's how I've learned to inspire my clients, is from telling them what happened in my life. So as we uncover these weekly circles, I'll probably share more of myself with you, more of my journey with you, and I will be teaming up with some of you to share your stories, on the webinars. So I'll make you a speaker and you can just share, your journey where you are. So if there's anybody that wants to do that in the next circle, please get in touch with me, and you definitely can. It's an open space. It's a space where we share, we grow together, we evolve, we uplift each other. So if there's anybody that, whatever you do in your profession, we uplift each other, we really heal that sister wound of competition, that there's always a competition between people. So if I'm a healer and someone else is a healer, I can't share their things because now people are going to go to them and not go to me. So we going to heal that sister wound as well, in terms of, you know I can share anybody's healing practice, I can share anybody's anything, So if you want to share any of your pamphlets, any of your, anything that you're doing, if you're selling something, share it with me and I will share it with my people. And in turn, we all help each other grow and we all help each other evolve, because that's really why we're here, is to share unconditional love in the world, not hatred, not competition, not blame and shame and guilt. We coming away from that. We're coming away from doing that, and we're just moving into a space of unconditional love. So yeah, that's that. I think it was, yeah. I think that was the circle. Yeah, that was the circle. I want to thank each and every one who's listening live and those who will get the recording. I hope that this served you in one purpose or the other. I hope it answered your questions to what these circles will be about going forward. They are also going forward on love offerings, so it's open to anybody. So even if you are not financially in a position to give a love offering, that's absolutely okay. It's a space for healing. It's a space where anybody's welcome. So share with people who you think will benefit from it. Um, I'm here to serve you all, and I'm so honored that you all chose me as someone who you'd love to learn from. And I know that on this journey we will all learn from each other. We never stop learning. Every day I learn, whether it's from my kids, from other women, from books and all of that. um so yeah, I'm very thankful for all of you, and I wish you guys all a beautiful evening. If there are any questions that come to your mind, then please mail them to me. You will see that I am currently rebranding. So the new email address is tarashealingspace@gmail.com. So just mail me on there, or Facebook me, or WhatsApp me if you guys have my number. Maybe get the recording even if we listen live. Yes, I will share with you. I'll share the recording with you. I've set it to automatically record so I don't forget. So yeah, I'll definitely share that with you guys. Thank you for coming, guys. Lots of love and blessings to you all, and I really hope you guys have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Lots of love. Namaste.